Welcome to Mighty Military. Video footage released by the Daily CPEC on X on January 7, 2026 has provided what defense analysts are calling the clearest public confirmation so far that China's next-generation stealth fighter, the Shenyang J-35A, has officially moved beyond the prototype phase and into serial production and advanced operational testing. The footage appears to show two fully assembled, production-standard J-35A stealth fighters flying in close formation near the Shenyang Aircraft Corporation's production complex in Liaoning Province. For military observers, this single moment marks a decisive turning point. The joint flight of two factory-fresh airframes is not a routine test. It is a clear signal that China has transitioned the J-35A from experimental development into multi-aircraft operational evaluation, a stage that only mature fifth-generation programs ever reach. The J-35A is the land-based variant of China's J-35 stealth fighter family, developed by Shenyang Aircraft Corporation under AVIC. While the carrier-capable J-35 is intended for the PLA Navy, the J-35A is optimized specifically for the People's Liberation Army Air Force. By removing the heavy structural reinforcements required for catapult launches and arrested carrier landings, the J-35A benefits from a lighter airframe, increased internal fuel capacity, and greater flexibility when operating from conventional airbases. The roots of this aircraft trace back to the FC-31 Gear Falcon stealth demonstrator, which first flew in October 2012. Initially marketed as an export-oriented private venture, the design was later absorbed into China's state-backed defense ecosystem and underwent extensive redesign. By 2021, the first prototype of what would become the J-35A took to the skies. Production standard airframes were observed by mid-2023, and the first confirmed test flight of the production model occurred in August 2024. By December 2024, intelligence assessments indicated that the J-35A had already entered limited evaluation service with a specialized PLAAF unit conducting near-combat operational testing. While China has not yet declared initial operating capability, military aviation analysts widely estimate that IOC will be achieved by late 2026, with frontline deployment beginning around 2027. The J-35A is a twin-engine, fifth-generation multi-role stealth fighter designed for air superiority, precision strike, and deep battlefield interdiction in high-threat environments. It features internal weapons bays, advanced radar-absorbent materials, diverterless supersonic intakes, and refined stealth shaping to minimize radar cross-section. Its avionics suite is believed to include an AESA radar, electro-optical targeting systems, and secure multi-band data links, enabling advanced sensor fusion and cooperative engagements with other air, sea, and ground platforms. Unlike the larger Chengdu J-20, which emphasizes long-range interception and electronic warfare dominance, the J-35A is optimized for tactical agility, flexibility, and high sortie generation rates. Current production aircraft are believed to use improved Russian RD-93 engines, but future blocks are expected to transition to China's indigenous WS-19 engine. Once fielded, this engine will significantly improve thrust-to-weight ratio while reducing China's reliance on foreign propulsion systems. In parallel, China continues development of the carrier-based J-35 variant for operations aboard the Type 003 aircraft carrier Fujian. This naval version has already completed static compatibility tests with China's electromagnetic Catobar launch system and is expected to conduct flight trials during the carrier's sea trials throughout 2025 and 2026. Together, the J-35 and J-35A reflect a deliberate dual-track strategy, allowing China to project stealth air power from both land and sea, using aircraft optimized for each domain. What makes the January 7th footage especially significant is that it shows two production-standard J-35As flying together in a coordinated sortie. Such flights are a critical milestone. They validate not only aerodynamic performance and flight control systems, but also stealth behavior in formation, real-time avionics coordination, secure data link performance, and multi-aircraft radar signature management. These are all prerequisites for operational stealth formations. Strategically, the J-35A dramatically expands China's ability to conduct stealth-based strike missions, air defense suppression, and contested airspace operations across the first and second island chains. When deployed in meaningful numbers, the aircraft will allow the PLAAF to project survivable air power into areas such as the Taiwan Strait, the East China Sea, and the South China Sea. Its combination of reduced observability, agility, and multi-role capability makes it suitable for both deep penetration strike missions and local air defense reinforcement. Western defense officials are watching the program closely, but the appearance of two production-ready J-35As in joint flight sends a clear message. China has crossed the threshold from research and experimentation into operational capability. It confirms that Beijing now possesses the industrial depth and technological maturity to sustain multiple fifth-generation fighter programs simultaneously. Until now, only the United States had demonstrated this level of parallel fifth-generation production with the F-22 and F-35. The J-35A's emergence shows that China is no longer merely catching up in stealth aviation, it is actively reshaping the strategic air power balance in the Indo-Pacific. With stealth fighters now flying in production pairs and edging closer to frontline deployment, China's fifth-generation capability is no longer aspirational. It is real, scalable, and accelerating. This is Mighty Military.